All right, y'all. Welcome back to Hookset TV and welcome to the Hookset HQ. I put together a list of the top 10 baits for snakehead fishing. I called everybody I knew that fishes for snakeheads and really catches them, and I got their opinions. This isn't my list. This is a compilation of what I use, what my friends use, and people I've met out on the water. So let's get started. Get my little paper here. All right, coming in at number 10 is wake baits, mainly jointed wake baits, like the Spro Rat right here. I've caught a few on this. Other people say that these rat lures are really good. I've used them myself and they work. I've actually caught a few on this one right here, the gray one. This is the, I believe it's the size 40 maybe the size 30, but they come really small. All the way down to this little guy right here. Now this little guy is gonna have small hooks, so a big snakehead's gonna tear this apart. But I've caught them up to 5 pounds on this, no problem. Got them right to the boat, no sweat. There's another jointed wake bait I'm gonna try this year that I'm pretty excited about. The Chase Baits Frill Seeker. It's like a lizard, like one of those frilled dragons that walk on the water. It's a really cool looking bait. Unlike the Spro wake bait that has the single joint, it's got the rattle. This thing is multi-jointed. So this should put a real sick action in the water. I can't wait to use that. And I think this year I'm gonna pull out this fella, the giant Spro 50 rat, and see if I can't catch me a real dragon. Look at that thing. That thing is so big. Look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that around this year. Let's see what happens with that. All right, let's go on to number 9. All right, number 9 is a bait that some people love, some people hate it. And that's the Whopper Plopper right here. This is the 110 size. I don't like going any smaller than this. It kicks out a different sound. This is the 130 size right here. Now, the Whopper Plopper. The snakeheads absolutely destroy this thing. That's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. These things are notorious for getting snakeheads on the hooks, but then the hooks, you know, straightening out, blah, blah, blah. But you can, you know, with a lot of treble hook baits with snakeheads, you want to upgrade your hooks. I usually do the Gamakatsus. So you might want to think about that, but on the newer Whopper Ploppers, it's got a little sticker here. It says that they have already upgraded their hooks. And they look a little bit meatier, so maybe that problem's a thing of the past. But these things absolutely get wrecked by snakeheads. But the issue is the hookup ratio isn't very good, and getting them to the boat, you're gonna lose a lot of fish. They're gonna come off of these things. Even if the hooks don't fail you, they just come off. But they definitely get bit. And there's some other Whopper Plopper style lures, like the Drunken Mullet by Chase Baits. This has really thin wire hooks, it looks like to me. So I don't know how that's gonna handle against a really big snake. And I'm excited to use this one just because of the different design. The Guggen Revolver, the plopper is further up the body. I think that's gonna help a lot with the short strikes. And look at the tail. The tail's a lot different than your regular Whopper Plopper baits. I guess that keeps it straight up in the water because of the upward movement of that buzz. But I'm excited to use this. I've got 4 of them. I took one out of the box, and the hooks are actually really strong. So I'm gonna throw that this year and see what happens with that. All right, on to number 8. But first, I'm gonna pour me a drink. It's Saturday night, y'all. Let's celebrate. Got me some Wild Turkey Rare Breed. All right. Cheers, everyone. All right, where was I? Number 8. Soft plastic frogs. Like the ribbits, like the horny toads, like the rage tail toads. Some people absolutely swear by these. I don't use them too much. I don't have that great a success with it, but like I said, this isn't my list. I've asked a lot of people about this. All right. With these, you're gonna need to get yourself some of these right here to rig these properly. You can put just an EWG hook in there if you want to, but you know, you're still fishing a frog. You're gonna want some very meaty hooks when you're using these things. They come in a bunch of colors. You're gonna get your colors, your favorite colors in these. There you go, right there. It says garlic scented. It's not a very strong scent, but I don't think that matters at all. But there you go. The Ribbit Frog comes in at number 8. Some people absolutely swear by these. Like I said, I don't use them much, but I couldn't keep them off the list. Too many people like them. Ribbit Frogs. All right, number 7 is spinner baits. This is another thing. When it's windy and they're just not going to hit top water, you can't really finesse them with, you know, something else. This thing gets bit in the wind. That's why this is on the list, and it catches big snakes. The biggest snake I've ever lost came on one of these. This is Strike King right here. You can also use Colorado blades. I've caught them on the Colorado blades too, but I prefer the willow blades. It just seems like I get bit more when I use the willow blades. And if you're down there in black water, when you're in that really dark water, that muddy, murky, stained water, I prefer painted blades. If it's not painted blades, I'll go with like a gold blade, like this hammered gold blade on the Colorado. And I like to find a spinner bait with the longer skirt to hide that stinger hook. I don't want to use a trailer on here too much because you'll get a lot of short strikes on these. But that's number 7, spinner baits when it's really windy and they're not going to hit top water. And these things are surprisingly weedless. You know, I bass fish a lot, so I've been using these for 30 years. But you know, they just get bit. You'll catch a ton of bass on these. You'll catch snakeheads on these. They just get bit. Like I said, the biggest snakehead I ever lost, I hooked into with one of these, and he took me down into it looked like a broke off branch, because the branch was coming with me when I was reeling in, but he got all tangled up in me, and he got all tangled up in it, and he come off, and I was heartbroken. It was probably the biggest snakehead I had caught at that time, but caught a bigger one last August. You guys probably seen that video. But number 7, spinner baits. Number 6 is a bait that a lot of people use. A lot of people love it. A lot of people say they don't get bit on it, but I just love throwing them, and a lot of other people do too. That's the Buzzbait. This is just a fun bait to throw, and it gets bit. Same thing, I use the long skirt with the stinger hook because they're gonna bite this short a lot too. The thing with a Buzzbait is when you cast it out, you gotta get it going quick to get it up on that top, because the snakeheads are gonna be near that cover. You're gonna be casting into that cover. You don't wanna cast it right where you want it, and then it's not working until you're past where you want to get it to. So when you cast this out, as soon as it hits the water, you want to get that thing going. You gotta retrieve these pretty fast to keep them on top of the water. But if you go to one of these fellas right here with the double blades, you can actually work this a lot slower with the 2 blades. The 2 blades keep it up at a slower retrieve. This is the Picasso Buzzsaw. It's actually lighter than a lot of spinner baits too, which actually helps it stay up and get up and stay up faster as well. So if you haven't used a double bladed Buzzbait, give it a try. Another thing is the hook is back a lot further than a lot of Buzzbaits, so there's no need for a trailer hook. So that's Buzzbaits, that's number 6. Here is when it got really hard to finish this list, because these are by far the most popular baits for snakehead fishing, these next 5. All right, coming in at number 5, the Fluke. Some people have caught absolute dragons on this thing. This is a bait. A lot of people don't think finesse fishing when you're thinking about snakehead fishing. But when nothing's working, you throw this Fluke and you can finesse fish for snakeheads. Most people don't think, oh, you don't finesse fish for snakeheads. You just power fish. No. When it's tough, you can throw this around and you can catch them. I had a day down on the chick, where I fished for about 7 hours, throwing everything I had and nothing. I took my spinning gear and I just weightless started throwing a fluke, and I caught 5 in about the last hour I was there. When the bite's tough, they will bite this thing. They will absolutely bite this thing, and it comes in so many different colors for you to try. But personally for me, where this bait shines is when you see a fry ball. When you see a fry ball, you know, a lot of these other baits are just gonna zzz right through that fry ball. This thing here, you can throw it past the fry ball and right through that fry ball. You can actually make it look like it's trying to pick off the fry, and they will destroy this thing. They will absolutely destroy this thing. That's where I love the Fluke. If I see a fry ball, that's what I'm throwing into it, right there. All right, down to the nitty gritty. Number 4. This was really tough. These next 3, I had no idea how to rank them. They were all up near the top of everybody's list. Paddle tail swim bait coming in at number 4. This is a bait you can use so many different ways. I've actually had very good success using this weightless and just throwing it up next to cover, letting it fall, and just twitching it, and then hammer it. Weightless hooks, throwing that out and just let that paddle kick. Let it kick. They'll absolutely destroy it. You can get them anywhere. You can get these at Walmart, the Rage Swimmers. There's really not a lot of difference. Actually, the best one is the Kayak, but you're gonna go through some of those things. I've casted out Kayaks, brought them back, not felt a bite at all, and the tail's just gone. It's just gone. They're so soft. I don't know if the tail falls off or something's eating it, but Kayaks just get, they're too soft in my opinion, especially in the summertime when that water's warm. You get bit one time and that thing is gone. I actually use these a lot, the Speed Shad from Bass Pro Shop. I use the Rage Swimmers. Haven't used these for snakeheads yet, but I've used these for bass, and these work really good. The Guggen Saucy Swimmers, these are awesome as well. I throw a lot of the 3.5 inch, 3.8s, and I also throw these big ones a lot for the snakeheads. And a lot of people throw small, little tiny baits for snakeheads, but you'll catch 2-3 pounders on these big ones all day long. They have no problem eating these things. Another thing you can do that's really good, throw one of these on this underspin and you'll get wrecked. You'll get absolutely wrecked. Hold on to that rod because they will jack it right out of your hands. Plus, you can use that for a trailer. You can use it for a trailer on your spinner baits. You can use it on a trailer for one of these baits I haven't said yet. But like I said, you can use this 100 different ways, and it just catches them, y'all. It just catches them. All right, number 3. This is actually a bait I don't use much of, but people swear by it. My buddies wreck them on these things. There's a few reasons why I don't use them. Inline spinners. This is the MEPS. This is a MEPS number 5. This is also a MEPS number 5 with the bucktail on it. This is what is this? Oh, this is a Blue Fox inline spinners like this. This has a really stout hook on it. I'm not afraid to use that. But the thing with these, if you have any stick-ups you don't see, anything in the water you don't see, this thing's gonna find it. It's gonna find it, it's gonna get you snagged, it's gonna piss you off. And when you go in there to get this out, you just blew up the spot. Wherever you get this stuck at, you have to go in and get it, you just blew that spot up. That's the main reason why I don't use these very often. But people crush them on these. My buddies crush them on these. This is a double-bladed one right here. They absolutely crush them. And there's another one. I don't have any here to show you. Addiction Baits. They make some that are very heavy duty and are weedless. They don't have this treble hook on the back. I haven't tried those yet, but I think I'm gonna. But when I'm gonna throw something like that, there's something else I'm gonna throw. But this catches snakeheads all day. You'll catch them all day. They get wrecked. My buddy, he'll go out throw one of these for a day and this thing's done. He's got to trash it. It's just tore up. The hooks bend out, the hardware bends out. They destroy it. But like I said, I don't use it very much because I get snagged all the time. But that's number 3. That's a fish catcher right there. I can't wait to try the addiction baits. Maybe if I did this after I tried the addiction baits, maybe this would be higher on the list, but it flat out gets bit. All right, 2 more left. What do you think it is? Comment below. What's your favorite bait for catching snakeheads? And let me know. All right, number 2. No surprise. Chatterbait. I've had days on this thing. I've run into people down there that are coming back to the ramp when I'm going out and they're like, I smashed them on a chatterbait. The next guy would come back and say, I smashed them on a chatterbait. And then I'd go out and smash them on a chatterbait. This bait just, I don't know what it does. It pisses them off. And if they're around, they're gonna eat it. They're gonna eat it. They're gonna choke on it. They want it dead. I don't know what it is. This gives off so much vibration. And the colors, I've used a ton of these colors. It makes a difference with the color. White, chartreuse, and this one's my absolute favorite. I call it coleslaw. It's the white chartreuse. I call it coleslaw. That's the one I throw the most right there. Here's one out of the package. This is actually the bait that I caught my PB on. The actual bait. Right here. Like I said, it catches fish. It catches big ones. The hooks are good. I've never bent out a hook. If you want to talk about trailers, a lot of people will use the swim baits on the trailers. I don't. I use Rage Menace. It just keeps everything working right. That's what I use right there. I use the Rage Menace. There it is on there right there. It just keeps, when this bait is coming through the water and that blade is, you can feel it in the tip of your rod. When I use one of these, it doesn't feel right coming through the water. It doesn't look right coming through the water. Because when this thing is going, that paddle's going at the same time and it throws it all out of whack. This doesn't move my bait around at all. It gives action. It's not like it's not giving action, but it's not enough movement back and forth that's gonna throw this thing out of whack. That's why I use the Rage Menace right there. So if you're using a chatterbait and you're throwing one of these on the back of it, try the Rage Menace. It keeps the chatterbait perfectly balanced in the water, and I think you'll probably wind up catching more fish. But that's number 2 right there, the chatterbait. And number 1, no big surprise. It's everybody's favorite lure to catch snakeheads on. Right here. Hollow body frog. I mean, there's days where they won't eat the top water, but every single person I've talked to, this was on their list. I asked people, give me your top 4 or 5 lures for snakehead fishing. This was in everybody's list. This here's the Poppin' Pad Crasher. This specifically is on a lot of people's list. They love the Poppin' Pad Crasher. Comes in a bunch of colors. Right there. This is my favorite bass frog, the Spit and Wah. Oh, that's another thing. I've done a little bit better on popping frogs than I have walking frogs, but I catch them on both. But I think the more commotion you can make when they're really feeding on top water, the better. Another thing is like this is my favorite one for bass. I try not to throw these $10 frogs for snakeheads because they wreck them. You know, the teeth get in there, they tear it up. But I use these a lot. These are cheap. These are $5 at Dick's. They're the Lunker Hunt Kraken series. Walking, popping. They eat these a lot. It's soft plastic. You'll hook up good. Never bent out the hooks. So I use these a lot. I use the Pad Crashers a lot. Pad Crashers, $5, $6. You can get them anywhere. Also in this category, the Teckles with the little boot on it. I put it in the same category as the hollow body frogs, even with the extra action. People smoke them on these things. And here's one that's in the hollow body frog category that some people just swear by, and that's this field mouse. People love throwing this field mouse. There's some people that won't even mess with these frogs, and they'll just throw this thing all day, and they'll just crush them. All right, that's it. That's the top 10 baits for catching snakeheads. I hope it helps you guys crack them this summer. I mean, spring has sprung. Those snakeheads are hungry. Go down there. Throw these rats. Throw these frogs. Grab a fluke. Grab some buzzbaits. Get down there and crack them, y'all. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, thanks for watching Hookset TV.
Oh, this you crazy mother.